get the tractor beam out of commission or this is going to be a real short trip. Okay, hit
it! Hey, here
How's
we
it
are.
going?
Hey.
Another collector spotlight for you. Thanks for coming, everyone. Thanks for hanging out and watching. And I think we got a good one this time. I mean, we got a good one every time, but I feel like a lot of people are excited about this one, so that's cool. A little bit different this time. It's a lot more like custom studio scale type stuff, right?
Which is basically prop replicas.
Basically prop replicas. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So Chris, can you tell us who we're going to the collection we're going to talk about?
So most people in our community basically know who John Simmons is. They've either heard his name or seen his work. You can't be a Star Wars fan without actually have seen something he's made, or commissioned for somebody. He's John Simmons. So
yeah. Can you give me some like what are some of his bigger
pieces? You mean
pieces? Yeah, that he's known for.
So I think a lot of people have seen like his Slave One.
Okay.
His Slave One is probably seen more than any other of his pieces. And it's always Boba Fett's Slave One ship. It's popular. It's one of the most popular ships out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like he also like did a lot of other things that we'll show through tonight. And a lot of people have seen his stuff on his page, but we're going to go in a little more detail what they are and a little bit about him. And so he couldn't join us because he said his house is a little too chaotic. So to be on a podcast and
that's okay.
So, and he's in England. So
we can't have everyone join us every time. It's just not possible. And not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone can do that. So freaking deal with it, people. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about that. So, all right. So let's go into.
Well, I'll just tell you a little bit about him first before we get into his stuff. Okay, so he sent me a little bio of himself. Cool. He basically started modeling about 12 years ago, and he basically learned from watching YouTube videos and magazines, reading magazines, and picking up details. He's done some work for Pinewood Studios, and right now he's actually doing videos showing you how to paint the ILM way, because painting like ILM is a little different than just model painting. Model painting is very detailed and like you highlight everything. Whereas with painting like ILM, it's a lot of like splotches and colors and tones, and it's not all that detailed because it's mostly studio scale stuff that's shown on movies.
Well, it's a lot of weathering and a lot of
it's
a lot of that.
And a lot of weathering, and he makes it look so easy in his videos too. And, and you look at these things and you think how it's possible, and sometimes it's something so easy to do.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. That's cool that he does that. Jason, hello. I don't think we have your voice.
We don't have any voice.
This mic isn't working.
We're not graced with his voice right now.
Oh my god.
That's fantastic.
It's always something, one thing or another.
You have to expect this kind of stuff.
We've only been doing this for a couple of years now.
We're not going to get it right every single time, guys. It is what it is.
Yeah. There he is.
There we go. There, you right there? You there, Jason?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Is there anything you want to mention about John, his work?
His work is fantastic, and I think he's in the last few years become a staple in the modeling community, and one of those model makers that just has such great attention to detail that it's now become one of those things where making a model or making an accurate model, ILM style is synonymous with his work specifically, amongst a few others, but he's definitely a standout. So I'm really excited for this. I think we're going to see some amazing work, and I'm really looking forward to it.
He's pretty much like the superstar of studio scale Star Wars models, really. Like he's basically,
Well, I appreciate everyone in the chat. I appreciate Steve, Chris, Jason for coming. I mean, Jason's in a wind tunnel right now, so it's hard it's hard for him to get here. So I think Jason, you actually you flew in from what, California today? Were you in San Francisco?
San Fran, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so the time difference is throwing me off a little bit because
I'm sure.
Technically, I've been up since like 3 a.m.
Yeah, no big deal. All right, cool.
Real quick, Matt? Are you guys getting feedback?
A little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wind tunnel sounding.
It sounds like you're in the bathroom.
That's all right. He'll fix it.
And the fan's blowing.
Let him fix it. All right, guys. So, Chris, you good? Can we get you?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. So let's get into the picks here. So what are we looking at?
Death Star Tower laser.
Okay.
Basically it's a scratch build. Okay, so he took an open source file from Jason, do you know who Dave G is? I don't know who he is.
Yeah, that's I believe Dave Goldberg. He's the one that initially did the Y-Wing.
Okay.
Was able to find a lot of the original pieces and piece together the Y-Wing. So the Y-Wing is one of those particular models that nobody has ever been able to get 100% accurate. We've got a 90%, 95%, 98%, but there's always that one little greebly hair, that one little piece there that still needs to be recognized or found. But he's actually come pretty close, if not the closest to, and he's made some amazing kits over the years. So yeah.
Yeah, this is laser cut. The body is a laser cut MDF board, and then he has the correct vintage resin parts applied on top of it.
I mean, you can see the detail here. It's freaking ridiculous.
Insane.
So are a lot of these like details? They have to be 3D printed, right? I mean, a lot of this stuff is that what's happening here, or what? What am I looking at?
A lot of it, Matt, is a lot of it when they scratch build, they use a lot of styrene. Various elements, actually. It can be any number of things from cardboard to styrene to with nowadays 3D prints, but that's just in the last few years. Now that you have the higher quality and the higher definition in the 3D prints, but the detail on this is absolutely phenomenal.
It is crazy. Do you think do these things move up and down? Yeah.
I think so. He didn't say whether they did or not, but
it looks like they can, but
it's just freaking amazing. I mean, imagine having this on one of your shelves. It's just crazy. It looks like a real piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the wedge is.
Okay.
I don't really know.
Well, wedge is going down.
No, needing it ever went down. But I mean, look at the oil drips on the top there. It's just so much detail.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I mean, honestly, it just looks like you're looking at an actual picture of a real.
Do you know? Did you say the actual size of this thing?
No, I don't know the size, but I think it's pretty big. I think it's probably like 1.5 feet high or something.
I think we might see it on his shelf later on. Just if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, we saw that one 3D printed one the other day, didn't we? Something like it, yeah. But I mean, look at the rust stains and the oil drips and the chipping. I mean, man.
Yeah, the oil stains and stuff, the drips, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. That's pretty amazing. Do you know, so with any of these pieces, Chris, does John still custom make these for people?
Oh, yeah.
Can people you can order these from him, or?
Yeah, you can commission things from him. Okay. I don't know. I kind of from what he was saying, I think this might be a full-time job for him. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But he's making them all the time. I mean,
right.
And you always see something new. And Parminder has a few of his pieces.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Insane.
1 second, let me pull up this other one here. Sorry guys, I got all this stuff in folders, so I have to pull up separate folders of things, just because there was quite a few pictures. So
it's interesting that turret is actually better detailed and more innately detailed than the actual one from the movie.
No
yeah,
doubt
right.
about it.
Seriously.
Okay, so this is Rogue Red 2. Okay, it's a studio scale model, Nexus Red 2. It's it has movable wings. The wings open and close. And he had the details are a little idealized. Studio scale. That's what one. This X-wing is 132.
Well, you can see the arm. You can see the arm holding it here, so you get an idea of size there.
Yeah, that's the normal Panavice armature you use for a lot of these models.
So the X-wings, I could be totally incorrect, but I know that they, based on the Pyro models and then the Hero models, there was 124 and 118 scale, but I'm sure they may have had some additional in between. If anybody in the comments knows, let us know. But those may have been the only two, but I'm not too sure.
Everybody makes different sizes,
Yeah, this is definitely 124th.
Yeah.
Is this a different piece, or is this?
No, it's the same one?
Oh
yeah, that's a different one. That's
it is, right?
Yeah, that's from Rogue One. That is. You moved around.
Yeah, sorry. I Chris sent me all these pictures, and me not knowing exactly what I'm looking at, I kind of put him into certain folders.
Okay, so
I tried to keep them.
This is Red 5. I think if we could see the top of the wings, I could tell you it's a Bondi X-wing. No, what is this, Jason? I don't know this one. This isn't Red 5.
This potentially, I don't know the particular, but it might potentially be a Bandai. So that would have to be a lot smaller, which just actually gives more credit to the detail in the paint job here.
Yeah,
I'm almost intimidated to work on an X-wing just because of how much weathering there is to it. I know you can't get it perfect, but a lot of weathering is just making it look dirty.
You're thinking about working on a FET?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a slave.
I mean, isn't that?
Yeah, but there's a process with that. There's a step-by-step procedure with that one. Whereas this, it's kind of like, I don't know, weathering kind of scares me a little bit sometimes.
Well, not as much as it scares me, but
the thing about the X-wings, Matt, Chris makes a decent point, is so like with the Slave One or even the Falcon, they do have a process, based on coloring, weathering. The X-wing generally just has to look like it's been flying around and getting exhaust fumes and damage and banged up. So more organic and more natural weathering is usually always a little bit more difficult to execute because it has to look natural to the eye.
And it can't go over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go too far.
You can never go too far. But hold on one second. So those are the X-wings. Those are amazing.
Yeah.
Let's pull this one up here. This one's cool.
I mean, if you ask anybody, they would immediately love to have a John Simmons painted model. I mean, how could you not?
I would love that if I could afford that. But that's not my lot in life.
You could. You just have to sell some stuff.
It's true.
Remember?
It's true. I don't want to, apparently, then. Let me see here. Share this guy with you guys. Okay.
Nice.
Beautiful. So that's a studio scale A-wing. It's the model is it's a Nyson model, Steve Nyson model.
That's awesome. It's got the little guy inside and everything.
Yeah, wait till you see the handprint.
This is a different one. Okay, so this is
a B-wing. That's a B-wing.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. So this is that same A-wing. This is the same A-wing.
Yep.
Dude, that's so killer, man.
I know.
Look at the light up on his chest.
Yeah, right here. Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Just like the rust streaks on the side there. They look so natural. I mean, and even like the white tone, the like white dusting on it. I don't know. Just so cool. Now this lights up, right? As well. This is the same one.
Same one, yeah.
Yep. There's a handprint. That's I don't know. I like that a lot.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy the level of detail.
And look
man.
at the how he does the oil streaks on there. There's different.
Yeah,
it's just
it
so
is.
good.
It's pretty incredible.
Now,
is the handprint on one of these?
Yeah.
On one of these sides. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's on the other side.
Okay.
The studio scale Awing is actually a pretty big piece.
Correct.
I mean, you have when you're talking studio scale, there's multiple different sizes. It just basically is what size they used for the prop. Okay, so the Awing is probably how big is it? Like 18 inches, right? Yeah, whereas the TIE bomber is like 6 or 7 inches.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's a big. I think, Chris, that's a good thing to point out. I think a big misconception is everybody assumes, and I don't know how this took place or where along the lines things got blurred, but everybody assumes that studio scale is automatically 1/24th. But you made a good point. The TIE bomber you can literally hold in your hand. The Slave One, on the other hand, is a massive piece, and then there's the variations. Yeah, there's variations of the Falcons. So this, in addition to the Cloud cars, is quite large. A little bit larger than the average. I'd say they're closer to maybe like 1/18. Maybe not so big, but in that range.
Yeah, it actually made me not want to get the Awing in the studio scale because it's so big.
Yeah.
You know, like
really
this.
Cool.
Yeah, this B-wing. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
Freaking amazing.
Yes, like I like the 1/24 size. That kind of fits for my room. That's kind of what I've been going for. And I was surprised when I first started learning about studio scale how it was the Awing that actually brought it to my attention. It was just so much bigger than all the other pieces that I decided,
Is this going back to the Awing? I couldn't tell.
That's an Awing panel. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy right there, man. That's pretty amazing. Sorry, I don't mean to jump around, but that's
good. That's fine.
We have to keep in mind that the A-Wing is actually, they didn't change it too much based on the original artwork from Ralph McQuarrie. So the paint scheme is different. The original paint scheme is a blue color, but
we have that up later.
Yeah, they kept the vehicle pretty close in design.
Yeah, I want to do one of these as well. I mean, I want an A-Wing, a B-Wing, a Y-Wing. I mean, that's crazy. Interesting with these models is they don't put the plastic over the top, so because when filming it would show for glare.
Oh yeah.
They didn't want refraction during filming.
Yeah, they didn't want reflection. So obviously the model makers are making it like the studio used it. There's a little tie deco on the side there, TIE fighter.
That's so sick, dude. Just the level of detail on some of these is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Let me go to the next thing here.
Yeah, the absentee glass or canopies I always found interesting. When over the years, I would, as I was collecting studio scale models, I would see people who were new to to collecting them, and they would say, hey, take some money off, you're missing the glass on the X-Wing, or, the TIE fighter doesn't have any, it doesn't have the glass of the window, and they're not supposed to. Chris is correct there, because as you mentioned, when they're filming and you're, sort of twisting the model, that's just going to bounce a bunch of light off that particular piece of glass.
Right.
Except for Slave One.
Except for Slave One, you're correct, yeah.
Yeah. Slave One, it just looks weird without it for some reason.
This gorgeous.
Yeah, this is a ESB AT-AT Nyson model. This is we're getting one of these soon, Jason.
AT-AT or
ATST? Sorry.
ATST, yeah.
This is a chicken walker.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that the Empire one is different than the Jedi one.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think once you look at it, it's very distinguishable between the two because the head is much smaller and the legs are a lot longer. But yeah, I think at first sight, it's sort of.
See, I just looking at this stuff makes me just angry because it makes me mad that people don't make this stuff because for someone like me, I can't get into studio scale stuff. I can't make it myself, and it costs too much for me to have someone make it for me. So I'm just completely out of the game. I can't do it, but I would love to get some vehicles or ships in my collection. It just isn't going to happen because, some selfish ass company like EFX literally doesn't do anything with their license. Right. So that's frustrating because I love this stuff. I think it looks awesome.
You look at this and you see that this looks like is painted like a tank. Okay.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm sure John started out painting tanks. I seen he painted. I looked on his page and he did have some tanks that he painted.
Right.
And that's how I learned my weathering, through watching YouTube videos of tank building.
Yeah. Yeah. See, people agree with me here. Come on now. No, I love all the nicks. I love all the nicks and the scratches and all that. It looks really cool, man.
Just sort of quick, guys. Donald had asked a question about the typical cost of a commission. So, Donald, you kind of answered your own question on whether or not it's too vague because it depends. So, usually with the commission, you're looking at the cost of the kit, which can range anywhere from 150 to 2,000 or 3,000 just for the kit alone, and then you're talking about the labor and the paint application, which can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months or even longer. So, kits can range. A finished kit can range anywhere from 500 to 10,000. I've seen quotes as high as 10, sometimes even 15, 20,000 for a finished piece. I had a Y-Wing by Dave G, quoted 16,000, and then I've had other pieces around 5 or 7,000. So yeah, it's pretty vague.
Wow.
16 for the Y-Wing, yeah.
I thought maybe the Slave 1 would be like one of the highest.
Who knew that Master Replicas was a bargain bin
crazy
option, huh?
It is.
Yeah, seriously.
Gala, hold your damn horses. It's coming. just pull the reins on that horse and wait a second.
Now John uses mostly Archive X paints.
Yep.
He also does some he used Tamiya's also before, but I think he's mostly just using Archive X now because Archive X has the exact colors that ILM used. It's just and their paints are so beautiful. I'm using them now and I'm blown away each time I spray it on.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second here. Let me.
Jeez. I look at that and I start drooling.
Yeah, it's really nice. Let's open this guy up. This is going to be. This is a cool one. This is one I wish. I don't know why I like this one so much, but I do. Here, hold on 1 second. Let me zoom in on these pieces. This is one I wish I could get. Share. I really like this for some reason.
Skate pod.
Yeah, I really like the skate pod.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I really like it.
One of the first things you see.
It's so cool.
In a new home.
It's so cool.
And this is another Nyson model. Steve Nyson of EFX.
It's beautiful.
This is pretty big too, right?
Yeah.
It is.
I wish I had dimensions. It's probably like 18 inches.
I mean, he's even got like chunks out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Use a Dremel and scratch it up or X-Acto and scratch it up and give it weathering.
Damn. That's beautiful.
Just all the tones, like just this subtle little like
different panels. The panels are slightly different colors.
Now see with Archive X colors, two of those panels might be the same color, but it's just a matter of an extra layer that changes the color of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And before Archive X and even the Tamiya, one of the things that Lucasfilm used on a lot of their models at the time was the flow quill paints. And Archive X did an amazing job matching the Pantone and opacity of those paints. I mean, they're pretty spot on.
Interesting question by Trexler.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is true.
So that's how big this thing is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
KFC bucket size? Because that's pretty crazy, man.
Well, I'm sure they weren't as gluttonous in the 70s, so maybe it was a little smaller.
Yeah.
No
that's
way,
true.
man. You used to get more for your buck back then.
You think so?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it was just greasier, and they didn't have to like care about your diabetes. I don't know if they gave you more though. Diabetes. All right, hold on one second. Let me go to the next.
I've even seen some model makers go as far as to replicate it with the bucket.
Oh, that's cool.
Because again, like I said, a lot of these, scratch built parts were cardboard and whatever you had laying around. Model kits, kit bashed together, and then styrene.
Wasn't the Sandcrawler cardboard, and then styrene over top of it?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% either. So. I mean, he has a scratch built one that we were going to show later.
I mean, scratch build gives you a lot more liberty and a lot more options to get finer detail.
Yeah, he had said he prefers doing scratch builds just because it's more enjoyable to get exactly how you want it to be. He told me before once that he doesn't like going back and correcting the models to make them look more accurate.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what Chris, you have to tell me what order these go in, but
no, they don't have to do an order. Just pick some. Now this is the Sandcrawler.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is the scratch build one, so that's like styrene, and then he takes the actual model kits and the original donor kits and applies them where they belong.
So basically, what he starts kind of crafting these things as pieces, and then
mm-hmm. And then adding the model kit pieces on top, or the pieces that you have to make, specifically. Now the studio scale Sandcrawler is much bigger than you think. It's how much bigger than the Randy Cooper one? It's significantly bigger.
Size, right?
Yeah, it's a big piece.
There's a great image of Lauren Peterson sort of touching it up during filming, and he's sort of crouched down next to it, and it comes up to his waist.
Is this the one you have, Chris?
No, I have the Randy Cooper one, which is smaller.
Okay,
and it's not 100% screen accurate.
Yeah, sure.
Is 100% screen accurate right there.
Crazy. So are you getting extra pieces to make yours more accurate, or are you just?
Yes, I put more pieces on to get it close.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, look at the detail.
That's a lot of freaking detail. That's a lot of stuff, dude.
Imagine like taking all those pieces and putting them on there.
I don't want to.
From flat styrene sheets,
Crazy. That's crazy.
The talent it takes to make something like that is unbelievable.
It's beautiful. Yeah, Logan's saying all the details. Yep. So many hours of work. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty nuts. Some of these studio scales are just ridiculous. Let's go to the next one here. Okay, so now, okay, we'll have more of that stuff as well, but I think we're getting into some of his actual collection now.
Well, all of these are in his collection.
No, I know, but I'm saying on the shelves, like you're seeing it on the shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to say that they're not. I'm just. Yeah, he's got some really killer stuff. Yeah, and you'll be able to see some of the stuff, a couple of the things we already talked about here. Let's see. Let me bring this up. All right.
So yeah, IG88.
It's pretty.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Do you know, did he make this or himself?
I'm sure. I mean, he probably took the original part and painted it and put a light in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have details on this, but if I had to guess, it probably is.
Yeah.
And you can see like the in the background. Okay, you see the one up there, the tie bomber up top is a studio scale, and then the Y-wing down below is a studio scale, but they're two different sizes.
Yeah, two different sizes.
And then down below is the A-wing. That's a bigger size even.
Right.
Now, see the cloud car? That's huge compared to.
But this isn't what we were looking at before, right?
No, that's not what we were looking at. No.
That's what I thought. Still, I mean, look at all this stuff. It's freaking amazing.
I know.
You wouldn't think like laser, like turrets, laser turret things would be cool look so good on a shelf, but they do. They look fantastic.
They really do. It wasn't something that was on my mind until I saw his pieces, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Are you going to get the cloud car, Chris?
I would love to do a cloud car, but it's like, again, it's so big. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
It doesn't look huge though there. Maybe I'm not seeing something right. Or?
Yeah, it's.
Chris, what you need to do is get in the middle of your room pedestals of all different sizes.
Yeah.
And like sit models on top of it. So you have like this center of your room group of models. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm doing.
There you go. So you have room. You have room for it. Then you got a big room.
I do.
You should do what like Michael Hawes and some of those guys do, where they actually like paint a wall and then hang them off the wall and stuff. That's cool, dude. I like that.
That is cool.
I do like that idea.
I really like the way you do that. There's the turret. Yeah, you can see.
I mean, look how that would be so awesome to have on
That'd be so sick, dude.
That'd be awesome. Now, isn't that on the right hand side there? Isn't that the prototype probe droid? Or is it? Okay.
The smaller piece, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, would you be down for something like that? Would you go for something like this?
Yeah, I mean, not the prices that we're talking about for commission are untenable, you know.
Yeah.
Someday when I'm fabulously wealthy and I own a mansion and I have my own staff,
right,
I will have a staff modeler that will do nothing but build models for me full time.
But build like custom Lobots for you.
Yeah.
But until then, I think I might have to just slum it in the Master Replicas section.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, you look at Master Replicas, though, their paint job isn't even remotely close to this.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but you get, it's the price difference, right? I mean, you're paying for individually crafted
hours of work,
time, and this is worth it. I think it's probably worth every penny that you're paying for it.
Absolutely.
It's probably worth more. Whereas mass replicas has to be mass produced, so it's not going to be quite as good.
Surprisingly, though, a lot of the mass replica pieces were hand painted. It's just that when you're making that many, you tend to rush the process. But if you compare one Falcon to another, there's a lot of variations. They're just not as fine detail. And there's plenty of model makers out there. One of the things that happens with a model community that doesn't happen with any other community is that someone can do just as good of a job painting, but you're paying almost 5-fold or 10-fold the price based on somebody's name. So if that person has an established, name in the community, you can, instead of $1,000, pay $5,000. So some of these are attainable, and you can have work that's, I wouldn't say, exactly, but good enough.
I want to clarify something because I said MR and slumming in the same sentence. I was being completely sarcastic. Okay, MR is hugely expensive, and I can't afford all those MR models. Right? No. I just kind of making fun of myself because this is just next level. Okay, right. So I'm not serious that MR is slumming it. I realize MR is hard to attain even at that level.
I'll tell you what, I've always loved the design of the Y-Wings. All the pipes and all the Ghiblis on there.
I like the Y-Wing a lot too. Looks really pretty. Do you know?
You guys ever do the Lego? You ever do the Lego version?
No.
That gives you the idea of all the different Ghiblis and whatnot.
I'm sure.
I had that. That's what I could.
That's probably what I'm gonna have to deal with. What's Chris? What are these two like? One is his, one is Master Replicas, or like what am I looking at here?
I think one is the Master Replicas that he repainted. It would be the one on the left with the mirror base.
Yeah, right.
I'm assuming he shows it. We have another when later on he showed. He sent pictures of of a Master Replica one. So I'm going to assume that one's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine buying a Master Replica and repainting it yourself?
A lot of people do that.
I know. I'm just saying, like, talk about like already paying a lot for a Master Replica and then you're painting it yourself.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, a lot of people commission John and other people to do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, it's a nice little display right there.
That's sick.
Very nice.
Oh, I just go back. I just want to kind of look at that blaster, the paint job on that. That's the grip. Oh, is there two there? Because there's like a second wooden grip behind.
No, one's the spare gun. One's
okay. We just can't see it.
40?
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure out when. Boba's rifle got a second grip on it.
Well, you can see there a size comparison for the studio scale Slave 1 to a rifle now, or a Boba Fett helmet. It's big. It's huge.
Yeah.
We'll see some great pictures of his Slave 1 soon.
It's an interesting. Do we know what this is or what?
Do you know which one that is, Jason?
It's small, whatever it is. Look at the training ball. Right
what does it say on the side there? Limited edition.
Number 2.
I can't.
Aces and Christrum.
Ace and Christrum, yeah. I'm not sure. That might have been an older kit. It looks like half scale.
Half scale?
To like the Regal Robot, for example.
The Regal Robot. Yeah.
It's
the Jedi training remote's a decent size.
That it looks like it's like much less than half scale compared to the training ball. The training ball is like 5 inches tall, right?
What's that?
Could be perception. It could be a third. Yeah, it could be third.
Yeah.
What's that picture in the back, Jason? Do you know?
So that
looks like a sandcrawler, no? Like a concept for a sandcrawler?
I think so.
No, the concept for a sandcrawler is a little bit more maybe some type of transportation bay or one of the areas where it's a vehicle of some sort. It looks like a Joe Johnston sketch from.
Do we know what mall this is, guys?
Nope. No. I've never seen one like it. Maybe it's something he painted.
Okay.
That's definitely going to be a Joe Johnston piece of artwork, but I'm not sure exactly what it is.
There's the Boba Fett handgun.
Yeah, it's like now it's in a different place where he's got more than one.
So so here's an interesting thing. So his Boba sidearm, the Pulse blaster, has the small little needle pin coming out under the barrel. A lot of people say when I had mine made, I had that added. A lot of people tend to remove that. I think it may have fallen off during filming or may have broken off very early on in production, but a lot of people tend to take that off, but it does belong there. So it's nice to see that he has it on.
Well, he pays attention to a lot of detail.
Oh, what's that Vader helmet there?
Got a do-bag.
So that Vader helmet looks like closer to maybe like the Rebels Vader. It doesn't look like any of the incarnations of McQuarrie's Vaders. But I mean, it could be some rendition of it, just because McQuarrie had sketched out so many variations.
I don't have any info on these pictures. These were just pictures he sent of his overall collection, and
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
I like it. Let's keep going here. All right. This is
beautiful stuff, man.
This is crazy. I think everyone's gonna like this shit. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to zoom in here on some of these.
Which one are you looking for?
Oh, I'm not looking. I found it. I just trying to go through. Just zoom in on a couple of these things to make sure they fill the screen here. And then, all right. And here we go. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what is it that did he make everything? Did he make pieces of this? Like what is going on here? Is this someone else's gun that he's putting inside of his holsters and stuff that he's made, like the leather pieces he's making, or do you have
that? I don't have answers for.
Okay.
Yeah.
This looks more like a build between various parts. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know if John does leather work or stitching. He I'm not being sarcastic. He may just as well do that, but this looks like a culmination of various elements acquired to piece together the Mandalorian bust. I mean, but they're fantastic. A lot of them look familiar, but I don't want to name off names just in case I'm wrong.
Right.
So, the gun looks familiar. The bandoliers look familiar. Even the ammo bits. Yeah. So, but yeah,
really,
maybe we just piece together to make the bust.
Really amazing. I mean, jeez.
This is
yeah. So that's just phenomenal.
That's crazy.
I never even thought that I would want a Mando bust until I saw this thing.
Really? I would want a Mando bust.
It never crossed my mind. I didn't think about it. I thought, okay, I want a snowtrooper. I really like when busts have the sleeves though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It adds a lot.
Yeah, this is really
cool. It fills it up. It makes it look a little bit more realistic.
It's like the RS X-wing bust, right? When you pin the sleeves down, it doesn't look like, but when you let the sleeves go out, huge difference, absolutely huge.
Yeah, he even made the body look beefy and everything.
This looks like an EFX helmet.
Yeah, what's the helmet?
It is.
You know?
It's EFX. I remember that.
It looks like an EFX. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, looks great. Looks really, really good.
The custom ones always get the cheeks wrong, no matter how well they've done, and the Innovis has a little bit more of a streamlined visor, so it's definitely an EFX. Ah, look at that! What a beauty.
So, do you know he said that this was a PP2 FET bust? Do you know what a PP2 is, Jason?
Pre-production. 2 second version of production.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's the coloring in the paint job, which it's funny because these are totally 80s colors, but they definitely stand the test of time.
They sure do. It's weird that Boba Fett, who's all green, and his slave one is green, has a blue backpack.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it would work, but it does.
It's so cool.
It's beautiful.
It works. It's a good balance, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't Gabe have this?
Yeah, Gabe has a different rendition of it, but different paint scheme.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's beautiful. Very well done. And then,
so this is the backpack you would see with the Boba helmet that has the eyes on it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what it would correlate with. Yeah, and then that's the variation of his mythosaur. Yep.
It's like spot on.
Yeah, it is.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Keep seeing teases of the slave one.
I tell you what,
that metal armature.
RS did a damn good job with their Boba Fett.
Oh, amazing!
I do have to say.
Is that the gray one on the end there? Is that an RS one?
I don't know. I'm just saying that this is beautiful, but I'm looking at mine like, holy shit. Like they really did an amazing job. It's crazy.
So now the one all the way on the left, that's the Jedi Return of the Jedi one, right?
This one?
Yeah. More weathering.
The centered one is our ROTJ.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. No, this is
the eyes that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the pre-production one. Now, what I love about this one is when Joe Johnston was going to work on this and they did the eyes, you can see how they tried to wipe them off, but they're still fairly visible.
Oh, yeah. I never noticed that before.
On the first set. Yeah. We were talking about that. I think we were on a group therapy and we were talking about the eyes on the Boba helmet. And I always loved how you can see that they tried to erase them and move them upward, but there was still, remnants of it left behind.
See, now you'd look at that, like if it wasn't Boba Fett and it wasn't such a cool prop, you would look at the eyes being erased on just a normal something else that you painted. You'd be like, oh, that looks like crap. But on there, it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's
just
really good.
Good work.
Slightly better than Sideshow's bust, or a lot better?
Infinitely better. Oh my God.
I know.
They're not even in the same sentence.
Not even close.
Not even.
Very, very, very nice. Cool. Let's bring up this one. And we'll try to roll through some of these maybe a little bit quicker, just so that we're not going too long here.
Just save the alien head for the end and the ATST, the solo ATST.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Those I want to show at the end because I sent them last.
Okay.
Those two I really want to show for sure.
To see if
I'll share my screen if I have to.
Okay.
Because those two will show you his talent for painting more than anything else me personally, I look at him and think, Jesus Christ, like, how is this possible?
Okay.
I'll bring them up so I can share them if you need me to.
Hold on.
This is such a great showcase. I'm in no rush.
And there we go.
Look at that red jammer. That's beautiful.
Red jammer. Yep. I had these in order, Matt. That's scratch build over Dave G file again. So that's another scratch build piece.
Yeah.
Now the red jammer, doesn't he have the black R2D2 unit? Is that correct or no?
I think it might be red, no pun intended, but I could be wrong. No? Black. Actually, I don't think Red Gemma has the astromech droid.
Oh no?
No. If I'm correct, I think it's absentee of an astromech. Yeah.
Pretty amazing. It's a crazy paint job.
See, here's the thing. That looks completely organic. If this was a true to life size vehicle or ship, that looks like genuine breakdown, wear and tear. You know, it just looks fantastic. Even that, you know, it's flying, things are bouncing off of it, banging off of it, chipping up the paint.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, you got to think that, I mean, other than references, than Star Wars references like that you can look at, you can also just look at how everything in the normal world wears down and paints and paint flecks and, you know, all that kind of stuff to kind of match that in certain ways. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I could sit and look at these pictures for hours and just try to figure out how he does these things, you know? And watching his videos the other day just was like, okay, you put a little bit of paint on here and you put a blow dryer on and it blows it all around. That's just, I'm like, what?
Crazy. All the techniques they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, those techniques are great. That's a fun little one. Chris, I'm sure, have you ever done that where you like just do a dab of like washed out color and then use like the air?
Oh yeah.
Let it sort of seep and spill.
Makes it like spider out and like it just looks really cool.
Yeah.
I'm all for him. Keep making more videos that I can just watch.
Yeah, the videos are definitely great knowledge base. I mean, even if you're not into studio scale. The thing about the models is any Star Wars collection, once you put a model into it, it just brings it to a whole nother level because you're bringing in a different part of that universe. So if you have a statue or if you have a hot toy or a bust or whatever it may be, a found part, and you put, let's say, a ATST or a Falcon or something like that, it really does make a significant difference in the way the collection is displayed.
Does any other property lend itself to vehicles as much as Star Wars does? I mean,
no. I mean,
there's so many.
Yeah.
No. This is the money shot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just unbelievable.
And what a unique design.
See now, okay, like I was saying, there's a procedure for this one, and if you know the recipe, you can try to figure it out. But I can't wait to tackle this myself.
How big is this?
Do you have an exact, Jason?
I don't know exact dimensions, but it's a large piece.
20 some inches, right?
Yeah, a little over 2 feet.
Yeah. 26, 28, somewhere in that range.
I'd say in the approximate range, yeah. And then the wingspan, probably another 1.5 feet.
Yeah. And this is the only studio scale model you'll see that with the canopy on. It's the only one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this I love. I've always loved this detail where if you see the thrusters, you have the old halogen lights that were placed in.
Mm-hmm.
So when they make the studio scale, they actually place the halogen lights in. I think nowadays they might just replace my LEDs because some of the older halogen ones are harder to find. But you might not see because of the lighting, but also and that sort of black, what kind of looks like an exhaust port, there's also a light that goes in there as well.
The horizontal, like right below the dish there. That's what you're talking about.
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
So a lot of these parts on here are from model kit. Well, almost all of them are from model kits, but a lot of these model kits are so out of production and cost so much money to get. Like there's some pieces. What is is it Entex, Jason? Entex Ferrari?
So
the white piece is down the middle, right?
Yeah, and you're literally breaking up an $800-900 model kit. I mean, it probably retailed for $5-10 back in the 80s, but because they're so scarce now, if you do find one, you're paying anywhere from $800 to $1,000, and you're breaking apart this entire kit for one piece, literally one or two pieces.
That's crazy.
Just like as we were acquiring these, as me and Chris were acquiring these, we were looking for the additional model kits and pieces, donor parts, found parts, etc. And there's some kits that you can buy for $50 or $100. I was able to get a couple of them, but again, some model kits you're buying the whole thing just to get 2 or 3 pieces out of it. But that's also what makes part of this hobby so interesting and so fun and so driven. It really has to be a passion, and you really have to love what you're doing.
So Matt, this is a lot like found parts for lightsabers and blasters and stuff, like the little tabs on the boots. It's kind of like archaeology, trying to find what they used.
Yeah.
And it's hard to figure out, okay, this little section on here was part of a model kit from the 70s. You have no idea.
Yeah, but you can also see why I think people are very interested.
Oh yeah,
in studio scale models, but there's a barrier there. There's a really hard barrier to studio scale models and even found part like light hilts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you can only you can only go so far unless you're going to spend like a shit ton of money for one tiny part or something like that.
Yeah.
Or or getting someone to build you something or make you something. So the barrier to entry, I think, is like very steep and very tough. I just that's why it's hard for me to other than saying I really like it. It's hard for me to get interested in something like this because there's just no way.
Yeah,
you definitely have to be very. You have to be very patient. You have to be very disciplined.
Yeah,
I mean, even if let's say, just theoretically, Matt, it wasn't a financial thing. Even if you just wanted to throw money at it and have it be somebody else's problem, you're talking still waiting almost a year for somebody else to complete this, assemble it, paint it. So patience is a virtue when it comes to these pieces.
I can wait all day long. I just can't throw shit tons of money at something, right? So, I mean,
you can understand why something like this takes so long. Sure. Just look at the layers and the details and all the different colors and steps. I mean, think about the steps that you have to do to build something like this. And it's pure talent. I mean, just.
Well, also, as you mentioned, Chris, it's the research. I mean, they're still figuring out to this day some of the parts, and that research that goes into it. It's it's time, and that time is money, and it's I mean, it's just not that commerce should be a huge part of this because it's it's the world of Star Wars and it's interesting, but it's just so unique what they did because at that time they really just took whatever they could and slapped it together and made it work.
Yeah.
Says how many hot toys do I have to sell for this? You don't have that many hot toys.
I'll tell you what though, it is this kit here is very hard to come by. I mean, this was made by Mike Salzo, and sold through Steve Nyson, okay, EFX, and he isn't making them anymore. And I don't even think the molds are viable anymore, Jason, right?
They're burnt.
They're burnt out. So I could tell you right now, you find this kit unfinished, 2,000 at least.
Minimum, it's around
minimum
22-23. That's just the kit, and finding the kit alone is like it's like finding the golden ticket.
Yeah, but that's a kit that you still have to do everything.
Still have to
assemble and paint and get the additional model parts, and it doesn't come with everything.
Yeah,
it's a labor of love for sure.
I can't wait.
Nope. All right, let me see. Let me go find the next thing. Here we go. Pull this up. This I feel like we're getting into some Master Replica stuff now. That will be something that he repainted would be my guess. 1 second.
I think there's a Y-Wing and a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I don't know if the Millennium Falcon's in this section here, but
no, that's not.
That's
is this his own?
This is his own.
Oh, this is his own. That looks like it.
Yeah, this is his own. I mean, go down to the. Wait, let me look. Talk amongst yourself. I'll look in his notes. It's a studio scale Snowspeeder. I'm gonna assume it's his. He painted it. I don't think it's Master Replica.
Okay.
Did Master Replica the wings didn't open up like that? Did they?
No, but you can cut them. That looks like an MR piece, Chris. I think he modified it.
Okay.
I think the wings don't know, the panels don't open. I think it's modified.
Okay.
Because studio scale on the Snowspeeder, the Master Replica one is very specific. It's not accurate in size. So I think this might be not only repainted but modified. And if that's the case, wow, what an amazing job! Because I'm looking at all the modifications and. There's some in the engine, there's some on the gun turret, and then also on the panels.
Just unreal.
Not to mention the paint job.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Because if you remember in the movie, Luke's actually has gray; it doesn't have the orange.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, the orange just aesthetically looks better, and I think orange is
I like it.
I repeat, we found them. We found it's
all right.
Good. Yeah, it just looks better.
That's a repainted Y-Wing.
That's an MR Y-Wing for sure. You can tell by the engine barrels how smooth they are. The scratch built and studio scale ones that are naturally done are very asymmetrical. They're a little bit messy looking.
Don't most people replace them with metal or aluminum bars?
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The Master Replica one is pretty plain and basic in the engine area, right? It's all gray. There's no tones or colors.
It's also a resin, so it's a beast.
Yeah, heavy. I mean, just look at all the speckling on it. Just the speckling on the engine there.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I love what it does to a model. It makes it look so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. Very nice. Let's go to the next one here. Okay, this is going to be the Falcon. Let's see if I can get this to be the size I want.
Didn't you say, Jason, he had a video of a repainted Falcon on YouTube? Didn't he do? Didn't you say he did that before? Did we lose Jason? Yeah.
I believe it was him. I don't know if it was on a different channel, but I
different
do remember. I could be wrong.
There's somebody.
I do remember. Yeah, somebody was and also the Snowspeeder.
That one is not the Master Replica. That is.
This one isn't?
No, I don't think that one is. I have to go back in my notes for him. It's a Bondi, 172nd.
Now here's an interesting thing. Everybody knows that. Well, not everybody. Most people know about the cool shade being used on the TIE fighter, TIE bombers, etc. on the wings. That black that you see on the wings was a cool shade that they used to block sun out on commercial buildings in the 70s. But the Falcon, the vents, the circular vents, that was actually cool shade was used for that. And then when you look at the ATSTs, the vents in the back, right where the legs are, that's also cool shade that was used, repurposed for a lot of the studio skills. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's cool. Now, is this painted like the 5-foot piece, Jason? I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's painted like the 5-foot piece, and it has
it's got a lot more wear and tear on the gun turret. So yeah,
and it's got more detail on the disc there.
Is this the perfect grade? The Bandai perfect grade? Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's like the term for it.
Yeah. This is the 5-foot style. Damn, the 32-inch and the 5-foot Millennium Falcon pieces for filming have a lot of differences, different colors, different greeblies. This is the 5-foot one.
That's crazy, man.
No, I painted mine as the 32-inch one, so mine is different from this.
Okay. Very nice. Let's bring up the next thing. We're getting closer here. All right. Let me bring this guy up. This is the I don't know how big this thing is. It's a pretty decent size here.
Yes. Studio scale probe droid.
Mm-hmm.
He just recently did this. Go ahead, Jason.
So I was going to say what's interesting about this. This is why I like looking at John's stuff specifically. It's interesting that we're doing this. So, talk about accuracy. We all know the probe droid is technically being black or sort of a charcoal gray, but it's not. The real one was brown. And you can see here that he painted the proper shades of brown. It's actually accurate.
It almost has like a pinkish tint to it too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit of that light overspray of the pink in the ground.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, man, it's phenomenal. And I'm sure that probably has it probably spins and has the operating antennas that go up and down.
I think this is like 16 to 18 inches high, isn't it, Jason?
Yeah, it's pretty big. So they had the 8-foot version that they used, and then the initial studio scale was roughly just shy of 2 feet, just under 2 feet.
Now, right there, you can see on top of a DTOF.
Yeah, it's a nice size. I like the size.
Yeah,
it's pretty. It'd be a nice display piece for sure.
If you don't go too crazy and have like all the motor and light installs put in, this actually isn't too difficult of a build and can be done for a fairly cost-effective.
It's pretty cool
price. Yeah, it's a great display piece. Nice piece of Hoth,
There was a guy who did a kit recently that was really nice. I think that might be the same kit that he just recently did. Yeah.
Let's bring up this. I didn't know where some of these here. I'll show you, Chris. I didn't know where some of these should go. I believe this should go back with the FET I think this is the.
Now this is a scratch build Boba Fett Slave One. This is not the kit that we see that he painted already. He is actually going and making it from scratch with all of the he's building the styrene parts. He's building.
Right.
He's taking all the model kits and putting them together. Like you can see right there, the red. That's the Ferrari hood, right, Jason?
Mm-hmm. It is. Yep. So they use filet Bosch, yeah.
Yep. He made the armature that goes in the inside.
I gotta say, as much as I'm into this stuff, that level you have to have the patience of a saint.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
that's serious, dude.
Yeah,
that's mental discipline beyond another level.
Serious.
Man, machined parts. Just now, Jason. Is that the dome there? Is that made of styrene, or is that what they made the original prop out of? Do you know?
I'm not sure if that's what they made the original from, but it looks like it here. Yeah, I really love that metal armature.
I do too.
The way that was placed with the two circular exhausts. Wow. Because that's the whole mid-frame structure. So that means that the wings are operational.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that means when you set the lights in, the wiring allows for everything to light up and be operational.
See, Matt, all those, if you go back, all those parts in the cockpit there, those are all individual model kit parts that he found and put in.
Yeah, it's crazy. Here's your model kits that you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Just pulls one piece out of. Yep, for one piece or two. You know, that's probably thousands of dollars there of model kits that he doesn't need. He just, you know what I mean? You just need one part out of it or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We got to get more into some of the studio scale and model stuff because there's so much fun, interesting stuff behind it. Perfect example, we mentioned the TIE bomber early on, and John even had an image of one on the shelf. So what had happened was, as Star Wars, became what it was, and merchandising started hitting the shelves, there was a company that had produced model kits of the ships, and one of them was the NPC kits back in the 80s. So what Lauren Peterson and those guys had done, they actually went and repurposed those kits to actually make studio scale models that were used to film on screen. So they were building the merchandise kits into the on-screen studio scale kits. And the TIE bomber is a perfect example because I think it uses the canopy, the cockpit window, etc., for the actual studio scale piece.
Yeah.
I wish I was that organized with my paints.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy, dude. Let's see. Okay, I'll have to look for those other pictures you sent me, Chris.
Yeah, I sent them to the messenger at the end.
I usually avoid anything Star Wars, so even if you send them to me, I'm like, I don't really care. So I'll have to look at it again.
Oh, Matt, what are we gonna do with you?
I know. I'm like, why is he sending me this freaking alien thing? I don't care about this. But I get.
You don't like Alien, Matt? You're not a fan of Alien?
Yeah, I watch the movies. I don't need to talk about it on a Star Wars show.
It's not the point.
All right, hold on. Let me bring this one up. Share. Okay, hold on. And this, I don't know I don't know what this is exactly.
So this here is a concept speeder bike from Solo.
Okay? Okay.
From the concept art of Solo.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1/12 scale. See the picture down below is the concept artwork, and the model up top is what he made it for.
And if you guys look close enough, you see what it was repurposed from, right?
No.
X-wing front end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuselage of the X-wing. Yep. Good call, Steve.
So now ArchiveX ran a contest where they put it out there who could scratch build a speeder bike. Make a model of a speeder bike and use ArchiveX paints. And whoever won the contest got cast a RS Boba Fett helmet cast.
Oh wow! So you got a cast?
Yep. Well, I'm not sure. I don't think John did. I don't think John got it. I think Lee Ralph got it. But this is just from concept artwork of Solo.
It's crazy.
It is
all scratch.
All scratch build. Yep.
That's crazy.
The contest, you had to have it scratch built. Couldn't be. Just look at the spring there. Like,
that's nuts, dude.
I know.
That is nuts. All right, let me find this picture you want me to show here. Hold on one second. And okay, I see them. Okay, let's see if I can.
So if you have a collection, let's look at Parminder's collection, okay? When you look at his collection and he shows you the studio scale Star Destroyer he has in there, it's like, holy shit. It's like you could see a million statues and hot toys and stuff, but you see an actual decent sized model in somebody's collection and your eyes are immediately drawn right to it.
Mm.
Like Steve, you and I have great collections, but what do you notice? You notice the model first, right? Or the master replica that you have. I wasn't talking about there's an actual alien head, but this is one that he did. This is from a deleted scene in Alien. I mean, Alien has such amazing painting to it.
Pretty nuts.
It's insane.
It's a cool piece.
It is.
Yeah, Alien's terrifying. When you really look at like the design, it's freaking terrifying.
This is quarter scale. Now that's what I wanted to just show you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look
at the paint job on this alien head. This dog. I think it's from Alien 3. It's the dog alien. But good Lord.
Yeah, that's nuts.
This is 1-to-1 scale too. It's huge.
1-to-1.
Yeah. Wait till you see the side view. Look at the dome. Okay. So he painted the dome, the head part right down the middle. Okay. And then covered it with oh shit, what did he say it was? He told me what it was. It was a clear resin or something like that. And it just brought those colors underneath them. Yeah. See how that's painted there? That is below a layer of clear resin that just makes it pop even.
It's very organic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wow.
I think this and the ATDT that I have, I sent you to, this just blows me away.
Yeah, this is sick.
I love the level of rust and detail and weathering. This is a very small piece too. It was in his collection. It's probably 6 or 8 inches high.
Okay.
But this is pre-production Solo. This was made at Pinewood Studios. I guess this is when he worked at Pinewood Studios. He made this. And reference pics of this are really hard to come by. He said there's only one available in public. It's all made from original styrene parts.
Cute little bugger.
I mean, look at the level of detail on that thing.
Well, what I love about it is it looks like something that would exist in a real world.
Yes. See these little scratches, these little chips.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking to you about, Jason, earlier. I need a paintbrush to be able to do that.
So that looks like it's layered and then scratched back into the layered paint. But I see what you're saying, like getting into the finer detailing. And that's almost like when you have a single bristle brush.
I mean, this kind of blew me away when I saw this. I love the Slave one, don't get me wrong, but the detail on this.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's next level for sure.
It's crazy. Very cool. Any closing thoughts, Chris?
Again, all I can say is it takes a lot of talent, a lot of patience to be able to do something like this to this level. I just look at his pictures in awe, to be honest with you. And every time I'm looking at his pictures, I'm trying to discern how he did these things. So I can learn like he did by YouTube videos and just looking at his details for his work.
Yeah, right.
And he really is what really started me looking at studio scale. I found a picture of his Slave One, and I was immediately drawn to it. And I just went on his page and I was looking at everything. And I recently just started having a rapport with him and talking to him and like talking back and forth about how to do things. And I've learned a lot. Yeah. And he's a really nice guy. And he's always, Jason, you said it also, he's out there that you can touch base with him and talk to him about, techniques and stuff. He's very nice. Don't get me wrong. There's some people in studio scale modeling that are complete.
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah.
Blatantly difficult.
Blatantly difficult.
There's this mentality of, you sort of you earn your keep. You pay your dues and you earn your keep, and you get to a point where you put in so many hours and so many years of refining your skill and refining your craft and the studio skill or model community, and some of them sort of take that to a degree of rudeness, and that's unnecessary in any aspect of collecting. But it is nice to see that John is very open-minded, very welcoming, and very willing to assist. Now that doesn't mean everybody and their uncle should go and hit him up and ask him a million questions. But if you are, if you are genuinely interested and have a question about something that you may be working on, he is very willing to help and assist, which is great. It's something that I think more of the collecting verse definitely needs.
Let's not blow up his inbox, by the way. Unless you're buying stuff from him, let's not blow up his inbox.
Steve, closing thoughts?
Something that I wish I could get my hands on, but feels unobtainable. So
yeah,
it's
literally like being an avatar and being like, I want that unobtainium, but I can't get it because the blue people are there. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So yeah, I hear you.
Amazingly, it's amazing. Right? It really is.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So, John, thank you so much for allowing us to go through your collection and just check everything out, pick things apart, and just really enjoy what you've done and what you've created and all the stuff you've all the hard work you've put in. And we really appreciate that. And thank you guys for your time, and thank everyone in the chat for your time. And we really appreciate you hanging out. And we'll have, I think we'll have another video coming up or something else coming up on Thursday. I think we're going to do a throwback, I believe. And then, do we know what we're doing exactly on Thursday, Jason, yet? For the throwback?
Not yet. No, I haven't confirmed anything.
Okay, cool. We're still trying to figure that out. But anyway, we'll do something. We should be doing something on Thursday, and then obviously next week, and got a lot of fun things coming. So
next Tuesday we have a really interesting collector spotlight. It's more of a fun one. It's a balance of all things, from models, busts, life size. But it's one that everybody will know. So I think people will enjoy it. But it'll be a good one to look forward to.
Killer.
I do hope to see more of these though. I do hope to see more model related, studio skill related pieces.
Jason, we'll push it.
Well, yeah, you push it, but we gotta throw some brakes on some things. We'll see. I don't know. I like looking at it. I like talking about it. It's really beautiful. Some of the work some of these guys do is just ridiculous. It's the same thing I think about some people like RS, you know, the time and effort they put into things. It's crazy. This is different. But still, it's pretty amazing, the talent and stuff that's out there. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good night, gentlemen.